Electricity is an abundant commodity. Do you know that why many countries in Africa are perishing, are struggling with power instability, that there are countries in Africa that are enjoying maximal power supply? I mean, there are countries in Africa that are literally enjoying up to 80 to 100% of power supply in their nations. And let me list only but three. One is Morocco. Morocco is one of the most electrified nations in Africa. I mean, Morocco relies on solar for about 15% to 20% of their power supply. Morocco relies on wind for about 10 to 15% of their power supply. Morocco relies on hydropower for about 15 to 20% of their power supply. And they also rely on natural gas for about 30 to 35% of their power supply. And then about 10% from other sources. And then Egypt. Egypt relies on natural gas for about 70 to 75% of their power supply, while they also rely on solar for about 15 to 20% of their power supply. They also rely on hydropower for about 10% of their power supply. Of course, this comes from Livanai. And then we have Algeria. Algeria relies on natural gas for about 95 to 98% of the power supply, whilst they rely on solar for about 2% of the power supply. Isn't this amazing? Does it not occur to you that with the level of availability of the sunshine we have in Africa, that we can have enough energy in Africa?